Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of Squatting Up. Now, we've had 2 fantastic days of tournament and some real talented teams have shown through. I'm here with Lieutenant Dyer, my counterpart from the Navy, and the evil genius mastermind himself, Soham Chowdhury. So, Soham, tell me a little bit about what you saw during this tournament.
I was honestly very impressed with the level of skill, both in terms of aim and what seemed like good communication across both days. You know, you build a team based on not just kills and deaths and stats like that, but also the intangibles that we're trying to get.
Lieutenant Dyer, can you talk a little bit about some of that raw talent that you saw during the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing just the amount of talent you saw on display. You know, they never played together before. We just kind of threw them all together. And then on that second day, we even mixed them up. You saw that raw talent shining through and some of that ability to work together that, you know, kind of the Navy instills in you.
Seeing that chemistry flow naturally going into day 2 and some of these matches was just amazing. And here, I think we're going to be checking out some of the greatest moments from both days and how that chemistry kind of shows up in the server and how that led to ultimately a lot of these round and match wins. The first game we're going to look over today is game 1 between Midrats and Bounty Hunters. So it looks like this is a full buy round. We have a double op set up on the CT side. In general, usually you want to put one of the ops at ramp, and you're kind of seeing Isaiah and Pana with this nice setup at ramp. Petits are rushing ramp, and they just mow them down. This crossfire is super strong, and going 3 for 1 right here already is incredible.
So when they're pushing ramp right there, I know you said it's hard because you've got to go through that crossfire. Why did they not utilize their utility to actually take ramp?
It looked like the T's, their in-game leader, said that they wanted to rush ramp, which means that you want to use that element of surprise to really get the jump on the CTs. And this is day 2 now. The first game we want to talk about is Battleships versus Midrats. This is a different Midrats, guys, than day 1. This game is playing on Mirage. So the first round is kind of talking about keeping composure, even though you're losing a few rounds in a row. We'll talk about kind of how Battleships was able to do that against Midrats here. We have Battleships on the CT side. What I really liked about this round is Battleships is actually losing right now. They've lost a few rounds in a row. So now this is the amazing awareness by Rich Muddy. The fact that he gets that kill in CT spawn where he really should not expect any T to be was absolutely critical.
So this was 2 rounds in a row where the Battleships had been down a little bit. What do you attribute to their success in both rounds when they were definitely not favored going into them?
One of the things that come up the most often is this mentality of selfless playmaking. That sacrifice that you need to make, even though your stats will take a hit, is crucial to close out some of these rounds that are especially close.
And I think those are 2 qualities, and I'm sure Lieutenant Dyer would agree with me, but those are 2 qualities that the Navy really instills in you.
Occasionally, you have to put yourself out there a little bit to complete the mission, to get the job done. But at the end of the day, you know, it's one team, one fight. It applies in esports, it applies in the game, it applies in real life.
Midrats made it through, you know, pulling at straws, and they play against Swamp Foxes. Swamp Foxes kind of really dominates the series. They had insane teamwork through and through. So Shredder has this line of vision down Banana. He sees no one. So what's the point of having Babang still at B? There is none. And that quick decision making to send out 4 people over to the A bomb site before the T's are even starting to hit the A bomb site is incredibly difficult to deal with. And I love to see plays like that.
Yeah, I heard you guys, you know, talking about quick decision making and how important that is in these matches. You know, I mean, it's the same way in the Navy. You know your job inside and out, and that just allows you to just make those quick decisions, snap decisions, and proceed right on the chain and make the right call every time.
Well, those highlights were amazing to watch, and thank you for the walkthrough, Soham. So, Lieutenant Dyer, I gotta ask, when we're looking at Navy sailors, how do you kind of decide which sailor is going to be a great team player?
A lot of practice, a lot of repetition, really no different than any sports team or esports team.
Yeah, and that brings me to another point. So when you're looking at this and you're looking throughout all the different teams and all the different players, how do you decide which player is the best for specific roles?
One of the many things I love about Counter-Strike, I should say, is there aren't any set roles throughout the entire game. And that's one of the great things I think really sailors in the Navy bring, that leadership quality, that ability to adapt when you need to fill a gap
Navy sailors get imbued into them this sense of, leadership, flexibility, and, just the ability to really adapt to any role.
Yeah, I mean, the Navy does ensure, that you're flexible and does imbue you in those things in your just everyday job. The Navy definitely inspires flexibility. And I know any of these folks, they're getting to do something that's their passion that they love. That is not something that is in accordance with, their everyday Navy jobs.
And thank you everyone for hanging out with us for this episode of Squatting Up. If you want to see more amazing plays from our tournament, check out our day 1 and day 2 highlights with the Evil Geniuses on YouTube.